Yeah, my name's Nick Horton. I'm an Olympic lifting coach out of Portland. I don't do CrossFit because that involves cardio, and I'm not as awesome as you guys. I just lift heavy things for 1 or 2 reps, and when I tell my crew to do 3 reps, they get really mad. But what I'm going to do is I'm mostly just going to show you guys the technique on the snatch. The clean is exactly like a snatch. So if you get the snatch down, all the clean is a snatch that goes to your shoulders. And the reason you get more weight is just simply because it doesn't go as far. So we're just going to focus on the snatch, getting that pull down, getting it correct. Because if you can do that in, 60% correctly, it'll dramatically increase the amount of weight you can put on the bar and the overall work you can get in your workouts. And if you just practice the I'm going to throw you 3 basic positions. They're not easy, but we're going to just practice those 3 positions. If you can get those down, you've basically got the rudiments of a snatch, the skeletal structure of a snatch, and you're going to be fine after that. This is 85% of snatching right here. I want you to take the bar, hold it with a grip that's wide enough so that it is at the hip crease. So if you bend forward, there's a crease there, your arm should be able to be straight and the bar's still in that crease. That's your ideal snatch grip position. Once you've got that, stand up really tall with your chest up like you're showing off at the beach and stick your knees forward a little bit. You're on your heels. Now keep in mind, my shoulders are behind the bar, so I'll go like this so you guys can see me. I am not like this. Most of the time, people lean over the bar like this before they snatch. That is a really bad idea. The reason it's a bad idea is that you're going to smack the bar with your hip and it's going to swing forward. And that, of course, means it's going to keep going backwards. You do not want to have an arc on the bar as it goes up, because you are not going to be strong enough with anything that's appreciably heavy to stop it from falling behind you. You want to make sure that bar has an upward trajectory. That's only possible if, when you're here at the hip position, your shoulders are actually behind the bar. This is not an easy thing to do when the bar is actually in motion off the ground, so drill it now. So I want you to take this position, and all we're going to do is I'm going to do this in slow motion. You're going to pop the hip, and the bar is going to come above your head, and you're just going to go right back down to the same position. And that's it. Woo! Nice. Perfect. That's good. Okay, so going up. Olympic lifting coaches will say something that's technically a lie, but we say it all the time, which is smack your hip with the bar. We say that because we kind of mean it, but the problem is that when beginners do it, they do exactly what I told you not to do, which is to have a horizontal trajectory with your hips going this way, like you're, making love to the bar without buying it dinner, and then it flies around you. You don't want that. You want to make sure you're really driving upwards, not forwards with your hips. And so brushing the hips with the bar is a little bit more accurate. Sometimes really good weightlifters will smack the bar with the hip, but they're still doing it with an upward trajectory and even get bruises on their hips. I'm not going to advise that though. Don't get too in the mindset of I'm going to smack that bar as hard as I can. That's a really bad idea at first. One thing I'm seeing a little bit is the tendency is really light to want to use your arms the whole time and flex up. Your arms should do nothing. Your arms don't do jack. That's a slight lie, obviously. With really, really heavy weights, they are going to do something. But at first, get in the habit of thinking of this as 100% leg and butt exercise. So when you come up with your hips, think of totally extending your hips by squeezing your glutes and doing so with a lot of force. Pop! Like that.
You want to be coming off the ground?
You can. I sure won't stop you. It's a lightweight, so if you explode as hard as possible, and you do it right, you're gonna come off the ground. Because it's a little bit like a jump. It's slightly different in that your glutes are active more than they would be in a jump. It's not just a quad drive like jumps are. But if you explode as hard as you can, there's no way you're not gonna come off the ground. And I would rather see that, you guys hopping off the ground a little bit, so that I know you're using your legs and you're not just curling the bar above your head because you're that awesome. You have a choice.
When I watched you do it, okay, so it seemed like your arms were straight and they went out.
Yes, a little bit.
Is it like this? Or
Theoretically, yes. There's yes, but I don't like to teach that at the beginning. Like after say 3 or 4 months of hanging out with me in the gym, then yeah, I'd start bugging people about it. But and some good lifters will still err on the side. The reason I don't want you to think about it is the instant you start thinking of your arms, you're just going to pull with them. And it's natural to do that. And I don't want that to become the angering habit. So I would rather see the swing a little bit as an error. Because you're erring on the positive side, which is making it a leg exercise. Position is pretty good. I'd like to see you be a little more forceful with your legs. Give off the ground.
like that side?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hit your head on that. So, when you err on the side of getting some air, that's what we're doing. When you are jumping, basically, technically you're doing something wrong. So much of what teaching is simplifying things to the point where they're not quite right anymore. But I would still rather see you up like that every time and really use your legs and your butt as much as possible than trying to be really delicate about it and inevitably be using your arms. This is not an arm exercise. And the faster you get that through your, like the back of your brain, the part of your brain that's not really registering it yet, the better. So again, a jump really is your quads, and you have a tendency to hop forward a little bit. That's pretty normal. With an Olympic lift, it's your quads still, but your glutes are way more active, and we have a tendency to go backwards a little bit because of that. But I don't want you to worry too much about that. Don't worry if you like land forward or you land backwards. We'll fix that in a minute. But right now, I do want to see everybody get off the ground a little bit just to make sure you really are doing this with your legs and not your arms. Yeah.
Do you want to use this?
Nice. Yep.
You're in front of the bar. That's either you or get in front of the bar again. I always want to yeah, but that's the
Well, that's fine. Yeah.
Your stance going to widen a little bit.
Yeah.
Put your shoulders up. Here's the bar. Go down.
Wider than you were doing before, huh?
Yeah.
The only thing I want to switch.
Back. Yeah, just bring it to him. Shoulder back.
Yeah. Good. When you catch the bar above your head, you want to catch it over the back of your head, not over the front of your head. And the reason is because at some point in your life, you're going to want to be able to get lower underneath the bar. And if it's a little bit forward, you're going to miss the bar forward. I mean, usually, if the weight's not heavy and you're standing straight up when you catch it, it's not that hard to stop it from going forward. You can just do that. But that is not the case anymore when you're even just this low. You're going to miss it forward. So keep in mind that the snatch, the biggest pain in the ass of the snatch is that if it's out of position by an inch, you missed it on anything that's heavy. Really half an inch, if we're being honest, on anything appreciably heavy. So making sure that you can get the bar right back above the back of your head every time is really important. Now right now it's super easy because it's just a stick. So make sure that you're really conscious of it now so you don't have to be conscious of it later. So when you catch it, it's over the back of your head. Look forward, put your head through a little bit, and shrug up. That position right there allows your shoulders to get back a little farther than if I had my hand like this. My shoulders had to go forward. You go like this, shrug up. Now you can get the bar back and you're really strong now. So every time you just overhead squat as an exercise in your wads, do this. It'll lock you in. All right, so on every one of the hops, try to land that way.